At the moment, it seems like a test match of two halves. The first day seemed like batters were cat on a hot tin roof, and day two, it seems like it's easy peasy. You're batting on a rather good batting pitch that we sometimes do get in Australia. It's been a game of two halves, but whether it's the pitch, whether it is the application of the Indian batters, that is something we're going to talk about. At the moment, 84 for no loss. Both KL Rahul and Jaiswal in the crease with a lead that they had already taken in the first inning of 46. They're sitting on a 130 plus run lead, a very healthy 130 run plus lead at the moment, and you'd have to say India hold all the aces. This test match could go either way, as any test match does, but am I being too optimistic? These are the two stars of the day, by the way, or do you think no?
More. There is one more in the list, but we've already waxed lyrical about it.
I mean,
it's obvious.
Yesterday he did the job.
Today also. First ball of day two. It just needed one ball and he got rid of Alex Carey. And yes, India could not blast the tail out even quicker. They added another 37 runs more. But 130 for no loss, effectively with the best batting conditions that you've gotten. And today and tomorrow, if India can stretch the lead past 300, 350, forget 250. This is now becoming a Perth wicket where you will have to work a bit harder.
Are you sure about that? Because I mean, yes, there are two ways of looking at it, and I think the two signs that I'm seeing: one, that you struggle to get the tail out. Was that down to application by Stark, or not so great bowling by Indian team, or the tiring out of some of your bowlers? Was that the reason, and that is the reason that they extended, or is it really down to the pitch becoming flat, and that is what helped the tail of the Australian team and is helping the openers of the Indian team?
If you look at the way degrees of movement that was there yesterday as compared to today there was movement, but
yes,
not that much. Not that much as compared to yesterday. Stark applied himself well. That's why he got that partnership with both Nathan Lyon and Josh Hazelwood. But then who troubled the tailenders the most? It was Jasprit Bumrah, who really takes the pitch out of the equation entirely.
Yeah.
Here, you got Hazelwood, you got Cummins, you got Stark. But here the pitch has totally flattened out.
I must say that I'm a bit surprised that it's flattened out the way it is, because I did not expect. See, typically what happens in Perth is that as the test match progresses, it gets quicker. Why does it get quicker? Because the sun is really strong there in Western Australia. It beats bakes the pitch, and it makes it go quicker because the ball will fly. But what I think has happened this time, because the leading up to the test match, you had that unusual weather where you had the cloud cover. So they left a bit of grass, to ensure that those cracks don't develop later on in the game. And what that might have done is that left a bit of juice to begin with. And that, because of the sun now beating down, instead of baking it, making it hard, it's now become to the normal level where the moisture has come out, the juices really come out. And now it's playing out well. It may still get quicker as the test match progresses, but probably by that time we'll have a result in this test match. So it's just sometime the overhead condition is just the weather also leading up. So I'm a bit surprised that the pitch is playing as docile. I'm still not saying it's a flat track, you have to apply yourself, but as docile this early on, this chalk and cheese takes me a bit by surprise.
I was talking about why this match, looking at number of wickets that fell on day one, it reminded me of Hobart 2011, Australia, New Zealand. Same 150, New Zealand made 136 all out Australia. But now, you've often seen in Waka that it starts off quickly, but then it can become docile. Perth, the old Waka, Australia versus South Africa, when they chased on 414. That got better as the game progressed and it was hotter. Today, as compared to yesterday, there is a big difference. It's hotter today. So that is why all the early moisture is gone. It's now afternoon time, 31 degrees. It feels like 37, 38 at Perth.
But I was just looking, last 4-5 years here at the Optus, your like 18 onwards, your first inning average total was 400 plus, and second inning average total was dropping down to 200 plus. So it was getting tougher as the test match progressed. But now it's done a 360 degree, 180 degree
turn. Waka of 2008?
Possibly.
Because we all thought that Waka traditionally it will crack. But then I don't think this pitch will crack.
No,
that
this
easily.
it won't, because the curator made it very clear that they've left extra grass just because of that, so that there is not that much crack. So that's the one thing. Okay, pitch aside, that it's getting better for batting, that's the common consensus. 130, if it wasn't getting any better for batting, I would say that India were pretty much home. Because all you would need is another 70 odd runs and 200 would have been next to impossible. Yeah. But now that the pitch is getting better, what do you think would be a total?
350, 400. That
really
has to be your target. That has to be your target, because I'm looking, maybe if not 2011, it's like 2008. Because if the pitch is getting better, Australia's batters will also want to be desperate about it. Yes, Australia's batting in the last 4 years at home, there is a reason. I've done a video as to why they have struggled on their own home patch. There is a reason, you can check that out. They will want to ensure that they don't go 1-0 down, because what we said, if a team is down 2-0, even Australia might be facing that same predicament. So big wake up call. We have collapsed to 104.
But I'm a bit surprised when you say 350, because 350 you should win a test match on any pitch, even if it's the flattest pitch. I still don't think it's the flattest pitch. For me, I think anywhere over 250, even though the pitch is good, anything over 250 fourth innings should be tough. And then again, you have Jasprit Bumrah who takes the pitch out of the equation.
You know why I'm saying 350, 400? Tire the Australian bowlers out. It will then send a signal that, okay, maybe they, instead of cooking...
No, that would be ideal. Yeah. See, I mean, if you ask me what is it that India would want, I'd say 400. I mean, there's no, I'm going to be greedy and there's no dirt to how many runs you can get. But I'm saying, if I'm Australia, if let's try and look at it from Australia's perspective, I don't want anything over 250. I don't want anything over 250. It's my batting which is not in form, my batting that has also collapsed in the first innings. Yes, the pitch may have gotten a bit better, but chasing in the fourth innings, you don't know again what happens on, let's say if they're doing it on day 3, how the pitch is to be behaving on day 3. We don't know. So from Australia's perspective, anything over 250 is going to be risky. Yes, from India, they should not have a limit as such. You would want 300, 350. Dare I say go for 400 if you want.
Because there is time. What that will happen is if a 350 target or a 400 target is there, one, you'll cook the Australians. Bowlers in particular. Second, they'll be deflated in the chase because their batting themselves has not been in form for 3 years now. Third, I have sent a signal of intent. You wanted to cook only one bowler, but we have cooked your 4 bowlers. How are you going to cope up for the rest of the series? So that is why I will want to give this intent 350, 400. Try. And we are challenging you on your alleged home turf at this point in time. So you are sending a direct signal. Mentally, we have you shot.
Okay, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Quick word on the 2 openers looking very good. Yashasvi Jaiswal, you had to be looking at it very carefully because he had 5 innings so far in tough conditions, and on that occasion he had failed. So the jury was out whether he can be good in conditions where there is going to be lateral movement. This particular innings has not been as much lateral movement as Siddharth is pointing out. So probably the ideal condition for him to get runs, and he's making the most of it. KL Rahul looked the best Indian batter in the first innings, and even now is looking the best Indian batter. I think the 2 shots of the match so far have come courtesy KL Rahul of the entire match so far. That straight drive to Cummins and the pull then to Mitch Marsh.
I would add one more, the Yashasvi Jaiswal cover drive of Stark.
Correct, yeah.
Because in the first innings, that's why I said why there's not been a lateral movement. In the first innings, he could have edged it to gully because of extra pace. But here, sat up there, threw mid-off, pierced the gap, got the boundary.
Who thought, I don't want to get ahead of myself, who thought that if assuming KL does continue to have the good game that he's having, you almost went into the test match wondering and not knowing who the opener should be, scratching your head, makeshift, who you could reach a situation by the time you reach the second test match that who do you drop as an opener?
That's the
embarrassment of riches.
Exactly.
Would you have thought that?
Well, didn't we already discuss this conundrum?
No, I never thought that in a situation like that.
Shubman Gill might not be fit for the second test because a fracture takes time to heal. So the only guy, if he doesn't have a good test match, it's Devdutt Padikkal who gets dropped. And Rahul slots back in. Yes, sir, I'll bat at 3. Yes, sir, I'll bat at 6. So he is, if he has a good performance, he's set for Adelaide. After that, with KL's Kismet, we don't know. how it is.
Australian bowlers, were they a bit not on the ball today in the second innings, or the pitch is not offering? I thought that they were a bit low in terms of, I thought at least to begin with should have utilized the new ball a bit better. But I think good patient game once again by the Indian opener. So
that's why the patience plus the batter's inability to cope, that's deflated them. They may be calm and looking very cool, but internally they are short. I don't think it will be a very Herculean. India should have a collapse of 10 for 36 to help them get back. Only then they are back. Otherwise, this test is like a silken cloth slipping away from Australia's hands.
Okay, so we are looking at it very differently. We've got Naidu who's saying 500 is what he's looking at. Vignesh also saying 500, but let me tell you guys, do not be that nervous about the Indian team that they can't. They've just knocked off Australia for barely 100 runs. So come on, 500 is never done in Test match cricket. In fact, you'll just have less than 10% Test matches, even 300 being chased, and it's not that. So I think anything over 300, I'm going 80-20 in India's favor. If the target is over 300, I'm going 80-20 in India's favor. I anyway said 70-30 last evening. What would you want to say at this stage?
If you get 350, it is 90-10 India's.
No, I'm saying at the moment.
At the moment, it is. I had said 60-40 yesterday.
Okay.
Now I'm increasing it to 85-15.
Oh, wow, that's a big increase.
Because your bowlers have gotten the confidence. 150, any other bowling unit would have crumbled, but this Indian unit has not. So that is why, looking at the form we are in, looking at how Jasprit Bumrah is in, but then again, there is a cautionary tale why I say 350, 400 plus. Same kind of thing happened in Bumrah's first game as captain.
Yes. Don't remind me.
And they chased down 378. Which is why I'm saying if you get a target in excess of 400, it cooks the Australian bowlers. It sets the tone that yes, for the rest of the series, it's not going to be easy.
Okay, as I said, a lot of you have said 500 plus, but there's also Priyanshu in the comment section who's saying that 300, 350 to bahut hai, 280 should be good enough. And I'm kind of tilting towards what Priyanshu is saying. I think a great batting performance by the Indian openers. Also remember, one, pitch may be getting flatter, but we have Jasprit Bumrah who takes the pitch out of the equation. Secondly, Australia also not in great form, the batters, right? So they've just had a long lean run, most of their batters. So once you go 350 plus, do you have the mentality, the mindset to chase it down? Well, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's that for a quick update in terms of where the match is going. We're not doing too much analysis as we tend to leave that for the end of the day's play. So as soon as the last ball is bowled, we're going to be live, and that's when we'll take all your comments and have a lengthy chat on the day's play.
3:20 p.m. IST we will join you, because even today also you're not finishing the overs on time.
There you go.
So 3:20 p.m. IST we'll all join you. Full house, full intense discussion about this Perth test. Advantage India. So from me and Nikhil, it's bye-bye. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. More videos coming your way. Bye-bye.